Okay, let's see how the markets are faring. The rand is flat so far today. The local currency traded at around 17 rand 8 cents against the dollar in early trade. Roy Mutooni, Sanlam Investment analyst, joins us now for the latest moves. Roy, a happy Friday to you, and thank you very much for joining us. Here's a use it, don't use it piece of information for the day. The Mail and Guardian always carries a graphic on page 2 of its publication, and today it says 49%, the increase in the cost of a dollar since Ramaphosa became president on the 15th of February 2018, when the rate was 11 rand 60 cents. The rand now trades at about 17 rand to the dollar, making imports much costlier. So, with that use it, don't use it fact of the day, how are the markets moving at midday trade?
Hi, thanks for that fact. The markets have been flattish. They're marginally up, but you can see a lot of the big mining companies have sold off. A lot of the big dual listeds are in negative territory. So on balance, not as active as global markets, which you've seen rally quite a bit since all of the interest rate decisions that came through over the course of the week. And I think this is just simply a function of how hard our local market has rallied over the month of January. Maybe this is a point of consolidation as we await new news or a little bit more clear perspective on the local on the local environment.
So we understand business activity declined in January in South Africa's private sector contracts. Talk us through this reading and what the index measures.
So this index is the production managers index, and effectively what they do is they go out and ask people, what are you seeing with regards to future orders? Are you more confident or less confident? And this time it went below 50%. And that's clearly attributable to two things. First of all, lower demand. As we well know, the economy is not growing, consumer is heavily constrained. And the big thing, I guess, is load shedding. So even if you had orders, you've got less time in which to actually manufacture and build things to deliver into what little demand there is. So I think it's a pretty logical conclusion as to what's happening on the ground. Less time to produce, less demand, which probably means that these purchasing managers are looking forward and saying this may continue. I think the one positive thing is they're seeing that by the end of the year, there should be some level of recovery. So there is some optimism. And maybe they're seeing things down the line that we can't see right now, or there are plans that they're making that could overcome the current constraints that we're seeing.
Well, let's see, right? And you speak of logical conclusions. Electricity generation decreased by 8.3% year on year. In December of 2022, total electricity generation was 3.9% lower in that year compared to the previous year. And so when we take a look at the future, we can draw a logical conclusion, help us make sense of the numbers from Stats SA.
So if you think about last year, well, Eskom is more than 90% of all production. So what we're talking about was Eskom able to produce as much as it could? No. Why? Because of both planned, unplanned outages. And also remember, there are a couple of plants that were taken out permanently because they'd reached the end of their useful life. So the ability to generate within Eskom didn't grow. We didn't have any new IPPs that came out. So again, logical conclusion. If you don't have new generating capacity, you're not going to produce more. And the current capacity just seems to be continuously off the boil, needing maintenance, planned and unplanned. So, yeah, I think it would be surprising to see a positive number even in the near future.
Yeah. Impala Platinum's output of refined platinum group metal fell 9% year on year in the second half of 2022. Just give us an overview of the performance.
So this is very much in line with what we saw with Anglo American Platinum yesterday. These guys, they produce a little bit less, again, because of power outages. And as well, one of their smelters was down. So that impaired the ability to produce. And also, some of the mining areas are being retired. So it went backwards, but it's not a disappointment. It's pretty much what the market expected. And I think you should see it recovering over the course of the year as they make plans to counter all of this. So not a disappointment, not unexpected, but negative all the same.
Sure. Well, load shedding levels have eased or are increasing. We will see in the future. Thank you very much, Roy Mutooni.